Hello, my name is Sherilyn and I'm a music teacher from Malaysia. In this podcast, you will hear me share stories about my teaching career and other stuff that interests me, such that I want to share with you. Stay tuned and listen to what's coming next in this episode. Today was a bright, sunny Saturday morning, and today it happens to also be the last day that I am working part-time at a music studio here, at a local music studio. And I thought I would, quickly reflect about my experience working at a local music studio, or we will call it music center. Or maybe some of you will understand it better when I say music academy. Because in Malaysia, we don't really have proper music academies. We have music learning centers. So in short, we say music center. It's an interesting process because I get to teach students teaching of piano teaching in particular, the quality of students. So I started working at music centers here like late 2018. I mentioned this in an earlier podcast, and well, it has been quite a journey. I've learned quite a lot about how music centers are run and how it's managed, and generally how this whole thing works. And I have to say my earlier experience was not very good because management was bad. It is quite questionable also, but I don't blame students. I would really think, really consider, really reflect, how is it that we have this kind of studios, like what's wrong with the management. And I think management plays a very big role in how a studio is run, and of course in the long run it will also impact the kind of students we have, the type of teachers that you have in that place as well. So in the early stages, I had some trial and error experiences. I worked at 2 other places before, but I didn't like it, and I end up at this current place where I'm at, and today is my last day. But I reflected that I started working at this center now since the April of 2019, and I realized that I have come full circle working here for almost 2 years. Yeah, and my experience here is very good so far. The boss, she's very, I would say, because she is an educator herself, so she understands the difficulties, the challenges and the way she runs her business is different from others, and it tells because this center is very established in its in its location. And the teachers who work there have also worked for a long time for her. Unfortunately, I can't be one of those teachers because of my full-time job. I really have too many things on my plate. So I really had to go, and I gave sufficient notice, but with the inconsistent lockdowns that we have, it has been hindering the process of me leaving. And so when I have to leave now, it comes as a surprise to some of my students because they didn't expect that I would leave. But I told them, some of them asked me, and I said, well, it's been in the works. It's just that now that the time has come, it has to be quite sudden. Generally, I want to reflect that teaching in the studio, it really opens my eyes to how a music school or music academy is run, and there are a lot of things to do. We have to prepare for exams, we have to prepare students for recitals. That was something I never had done before, and I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to even share my performance during one of those recitals, to prepare for a performance. And I always prep them from the beginning, you have to bow, you have to introduce yourself, the name of the piece you're playing, and after playing you have to bow again. These are the etiquettes that students have to learn. And even more so now because we have digital assessments offered by various music boards like ABRSM, Trinity, and even MTV. Yeah, so it's becoming more and more important now to teach students how to behave and what are the performance etiquette, which is hardly discussed about during the lesson, but recitals and current exam practices has opened that conversation now. And so students are more exposed to that kind of performance culture, at least in Western performance. Yeah, and I also enjoyed sharing with my colleagues, exchanging ideas, having conversation about piano teaching, and that's something that I don't get a lot. I think I'm going to miss that kind of environment. Yeah, because every week I come, I will meet some of these colleagues, and every now and then we will share about the progress of our students and what's new in the music education scene or the piano education scene. I thought nobody will remember that today is my last day, but yeah, one of my close colleagues remembers, and she shared that she will miss me being around. Yeah, I think I will miss that as well, but I think every now and then I will pop in because there are materials, lesson materials that I need to get. So it's not the end. And I'm not sure if I'll ever come back into this kind of studio teaching. I do have my private studio where I go to students' house, but not in this kind of environment where it's a center, right? Teachers, students, parents meet in one place, and that's something that I probably won't be able to involve in the long run for now. At least for now. So yeah, I hope that maybe there will be changes in my career in the future, and maybe I have a chance to come back again and contribute to this area. Thank you for joining my adventures, and I hope that you have learned something new. Feel free to connect with me on my social media handles, Share the Music, email me at sharethemusic@gmail.com, or visit my website, sharethemusic.org. I can't wait to hear from you, and see you soon in the next episode.